Hi there, this is Dr. Russ in Portland, Oregon. We talk a lot about core stability, and correctly we focus a lot on rotational stability and front to back stability and lateral stability in the core and the spine, but let's not forget that our stability depends so much on our balance and a good foundation, which is about the feet, the calves, the knees, and the hips. So in this video, we're going to spend some time connecting to our feet, to the floor, feeling the foundation and the strength of our legs and how that translates into good stability and balance for the core, which treats and prevents lower back pain and disc problems. I appreciate you watching. Poke around my channel, see what else I got. All right, let's get into it. We're starting, as we often do, just static, and we're gonna get our feet on the floor a little bit like hip width, maybe slightly wider apart, but no narrower. And we're just gonna rock a little bit forward and back, side to side, so we can feel, sense the soles of the feet and how they're interacting with the floor. Maybe there's pain, maybe there's some tightness or discomfort. We're going to try to work through it. Obviously, if you have an acute injury, if you've just sprained your ankle or something like that, this is not right for you. So let's get a sense of the soles of our feet on the floor. Rock a little bit to the left, rock a little bit to the right, feeling how the weight shifts on the soles of the feet. Same thing, front to back. Weight a little more in the heels, weight a little more in the toes. Weight a little more in the heels. Notice what that does to the muscles in the abdominal. They contract a little bit to keep you from falling over. Weight in the toes. You feel that in your calves, right? Their calf muscles are there to keep you from falling forward. So just a gentle rock, forward, back, side to side, and see if you can come to a stillness with the weight 50-50. 50% right, 50% left, 50% heels, 50% between the two balls of the feet. The inner ball next to the thumb toe and the outer ball next to the pinky toe. And from here, we're just going to do a little calf raise. Up and down. No big deal. Not that hard. You'll notice that my toes kind of naturally spread as I do this. And this gives me a little bit more stability. And that's what we're going for. So if you can spread your toes with your calf raises to give your feet a little bit of a wider base. One more time. Actually, not one more time. Let's do it a few more times now. What I want you to do is sense the arches of the feet and the calves of the feet contracting and then relaxing as your feet come down. And get a sense of the connection. So many of the muscles in the arch actually originate or begin in the calf. The continuous. The calf and the arch of the foot are really very much the same structure, just different locations. Different parts of the same structure. Lift. Feel the calf contract. Feel the arch also get kind of more rigid. Kind of gets firmer because as those calf muscles contract, it's literally pulling that little jigsaw puzzle of the ankle and midfoot bones together, creating a really much more rigid structure. And when you're here in your foot neutral, you can pronate, you can supinate. There's so much flexibility in the arch, at least there should be. Whereas when you are lifted up, the arch becomes much more rigid. If it didn't, it would just sort of collapse and you wouldn't be able to be on the balls of your feet. You wouldn't be able to be on your toes. So it's actually this incredible symphony of movement that takes place with every step, even if you're walking, but especially if you're running or jumping or leaping. The arch of the foot goes through several phases of flexible and rigid based on what is needed at that very moment. It takes a tremendous amount of coordination, and it all happens subconsciously. It's not even something that you're thinking about. Okay, next let's just practice toe spreading with the feet on the floor, and then toes relaxed. Toes spread, toes relaxed. Toes spread, toes relaxed, toes spread, toes relaxed. Now let's try just lifting the big toe. Can you just lift the big toe with the other toes staying on the floor? And then relax. Big toes up, other toes stay down. Big toes up, other toes stay down. This is a really nice little piece of coordination. And if you can get this down, and I know it's not easy, it'll really help your feet, especially on long days on your feet. If you're having trouble with this, then I suggest you sit and use your hands to make this happen. Use your hands to actually physically put your toes in this position and see if you can just hold them there, if not get them there. And if you can hold them there, then over time you'll be able to get them there. Now we're going to go opposite. The big toes stay down and the other toes come up. Big toes stay down, other toes come up. Really trying to commit to that big toe pressing into the floor. Now, same thing. This one might cause some cramping in your arch. If that's so, just rest, shake it out, try again. Now try this toe yoga again with the toes up off the floor. Lifting the big toe, curling the others. Curling the big toe, lifting the others. Lifting the big toe, oh, there it is, curling the others. Curling and lifting, back and forth. Make sure you do both feet. Check into your pelvic floor while you're doing this. What's your pelvic floor doing? I find my pelvic floor contracts and is somehow part of this movement. I'm not sure exactly how, but somehow those things are connected, and I find that really super fascinating. We're going to transition now into doing some stances. So we're going to bring the stability and the awareness up from just the soles of the feet into the knees and the thighs and the hips. We're going to start here, the feet pointing forward. Don't have to be exactly parallel, but we really don't want them either turned out or turned in. And we're not going to be too super particular about it, but we would like them more or less parallel and a little bit wider than hip width. And again, take just a second to sense the soles of the feet on the floor, rocking left and right. We're going to make sure that we start with our feet evenly weighted, left to right, front to back, inner arch, outer arch, and just with a bend of the knees, we're going to try to make a little crease in the front of the ankle. We're going to really see if we can hinge in the front of the ankle right there. So if the ankle is not mobile enough and we can't hinge in the ankle, that movement has to be taken up somewhere. Most of the time it's going to get taken up in the arch, which leads to a bit of a breakdown of the arch, overstretching of the tissues in the sole of the foot, which eventually will lead to plantar fasciitis, which is a painful, stubborn issue that we really would rather prevent if we could. So we also need to be able, as we're hinging forward in our ankles, our calves need to be able to hold, but also lengthen. So that's what we call an eccentric contraction of a muscle. It's holding us while it is lengthening, and this is difficult for muscles to do. So this is a really nice way to train our calf muscles. What we're going to do now is shift and turn to the left. So again, our feet are more or less parallel, but they're no longer facing forward. They're facing like 45 degrees off to the left, while your body faces pretty much the same way as the feet. And we're going to shift again forward. Now much more of the weight is coming into the left foot, and there's much more of a crease in the left ankle. And we're just going to do a few like this. There's no prize for how much your knee bends. There's no prize for how deep you go. This is very much about sensing and creating nice, smooth mobility in that hinge of the ankle. Let's pivot, shift to the right, and shift forward on the right foot. Now, the next thing to notice is that the left heel in this position wants to come up. But we're going to, what we call, commit. We're going to commit to a really strong connection between that left heel and the floor. Let's pivot back to the left, hinge through the left ankle, commit through the right ankle. Are one of your Achilles tighter than the other? The way that you can tell is that on the tight side, it's going to be a little harder to commit to that heel on the floor. That's okay. We don't have to be symmetrical to be balanced. That is such a key thing. People who have scoliosis, or really, we're all asymmetrical. Nobody is symmetrical. On the inside, we're certainly not symmetrical. Our heart is biased to the left side. Our liver is on the right. It's way heavier than the stomach, which is on the left, and blah, blah, blah. We're not symmetrical, but you can be balanced without symmetry. So it's okay if one of your Achilles tendons is a little bit tighter than the other. Left side again. Now, as I'm doing this and working through this, I can feel it's all starting to loosen up. And I'm feeling that I can move my knees a little bit better. And for this last piece, we're just going to start to feel what's going on in our lower back, how much holding and gripping is happening in our lumbar spine as we shift forward and hinge our ankles. Ideally, the answer is 0, and we're able to keep our lumbar spine, our pelvic floor, everything in our midsection really pretty relaxed as we go through these movements. For the next piece, again, we're going to shift and turn our feet to the left, turn our body to the left, but instead of having commitment to that heel on the floor, we're actually going to intentionally lift it up and come onto the ball of the foot. In order to be comfortable here, you may need to widen your stance a little bit. That's totally fine. But what I want you to do is think about dropping that right knee a couple inches to the floor and then back up. So there's a hinge through the right knee. And again, that left ankle needs to hinge. That left heel is totally committed to the floor. We're really making sure that our left foot has a nice balanced left-right, front-back weight distribution. But there's a hinge through the hip, there's a hinge through the ankle, and there's a hinge through the knee on both sides. The pelvic floor is relaxed. The low back is relaxed. There's no need to grip anything in there at all. Pivot to the right. Get that left heel up off the floor. Widen your stance if you need. We're not shifting forward. We're bending that left knee. A couple inches maybe is all you want to do. Maybe it's just like this. Or maybe you want to go a little farther. I don't want there to be any pain here for you. Definitely noticing my left knee does not hinge as well as my right. So I'm actually going to back off and I'm going to do a lot less movement. I noticed that because my right leg is much stronger than my left, I could go much deeper. I'm totally relying on my right quad to hold me up here. That's a cool exercise, but that's not what that's not what we're doing. I want to hinge. This is about function. So hinging that left knee, hinging that left ankle, hinging at my right ankle. This is the movement that I want. And I'm letting go of my pelvic floor. I'm relaxing my lower back. If the balance on this is hard for you, then get a chair and hold on to the chair, whatever you need to do. And let's come back up. Shake it out. Whew. That was challenging. I'm not going to lie. My left knee and my left ankle definitely need a little bit of help. Time for some single leg stance work. This is a great way to challenge your core stability, your balance, and the coordination of function from the foundation of the sole of the foot into the corsetive muscle of the core, the oblique and transverse abdominal muscles. So let's get onto the right foot. Don't put all the weight on it just yet. Just sort of slowly start to shift the weight there. If you can, if you're able to spread your toes, give your toes a bit of a spread. And check and make sure that you're nicely balanced between the heel, the ball of the feet, and the inner and outer arch. And slowly lift the other foot. You can lift it up behind you. You can lift it up in front of you. You can lift it out to the side. It doesn't matter. But notice first and foremost, where are you feeling the effort? There's effort in the thigh. The quads are really doing a lot here to keep you from collapsing down into that flexed knee. The hamstrings are also working to keep you from pitching forward and the calf and all the muscles in the calf. That's where really the balance is coming from. Anytime your weight starts to shift in, the muscles on the outer side of the foot are going to push in order to bring you back. And when your weight starts to shift out, it's the other way around. Notice also that that stance leg hip, that right hip, if you let it go, it just sort of pops out. So there's a lot of effort in the gluteus medius, that outer side pocket of the hip. It's sort of like sucking that ball right on into the socket and holding you up. And let's practice that movement a couple of times. Let that hip sag out and then pull that hip in. Sag and then pull it in. Ooh, feel that deep in the hip. Check in with your pelvic floor. How much work is it doing here? Pulling it in. One more time, sagging out, pulling it in. So much lateral stability coming from the adductors of the groin and the gluteus medius of the side pocket. So much lateral stability. And we're able to do this and practice that movement and improve our coordination and balance without doing lots of lunges and all sorts of things that are really hard on the knees and also not really safe if you're rehabilitating from a lower back or hip injury, which is what a lot of us are doing. So let's move to the left foot. Check in with the sole of the foot. Get that weight balanced. Left, right, side, side. Slowly shift the weight until that right foot can float. Float it behind you, in front of you, or off to the side, it doesn't matter. Feel your quads engaging, really holding up most of your weight. Feel the hamstrings engaging, keeping you from pitching forward. Feeling the calf and the sole of the foot being in kind of like constant motion, always responding to the most subtle shifts in the weight to keep you from falling over. Now you can see, you can probably observe, I had a way easier time balancing on my right than my left. Nobody is symmetrical. I have history of injury on my left, so it's always kind of going to be weaker. Plus I'm right-handed and right-footed. Okay, now we're going to practice sucking the ball of the hip in by first letting it pop out and then pulling it in. Popping it out. There goes my balance. Pulling it in. Had to touch my toe to the floor. I'm sure you have too. That is totally okay. Whew. Popping it out. Pulling it in. Popping it out. And pulling it in. One more time. So much lateral stability happening here. And then relax. Whew. Doing real good. Got a little bit more to do. You ready? Okay. Let's come back to single leg on the right foot. This time I'm going to specify that left knee comes up in front of you. Keeping the ball of that right hip sucked in. Don't let it pop out, right? So your adductors and your glute med on this side are working real hard. And we're going to start to shift the weight of this left foot in and out. And that's going to create a little bit of a challenge for our abdominal muscles to adapt to the changing center of gravity. And this is going to provide us with some good exercise in core stability without putting any strain through our lumbar spine at all. Relax that pelvic floor, knee out, knee in, knee out, knee in. I like having my hands on my waist here because it helps me feel my abdominal muscles working. They are not going through big contractions. What they are is engaged and responding to the changes in my center of gravity. Let's change feet. Shift onto the left foot. Pick up that right knee in front of you. Give yourself some manual feedback with your hands on your waist. Shifting that knee in and out. Changing the center of gravity without changing your position very much. That means stabilizing your lumbar spine. So everything from the sole of the left foot basically up to the middle of my back is working together to do this movement. So this is your reminder that core stability is not just about strength. It's a good foundation and good coordination. I hope that you have stuck with it. I'm glad to see that you stuck with this video to the end. I hope to see you again on this video or a different core stability exercise video on my channel tomorrow.